just think about other way. If it is a wireless system, I take this logger, I take some hook, I'll just push it to there. Or I will put this logger with some wires, join it together, I'll put it into the trail. So my job as a validation engineer is very easy to do a setup. That's another one thing. And what it is doing is saving your time. It gives you reliability, but actual in reality, still there are some other challenges with the wireless systems which are in the field right now. What are the challenges? You you know this all wireless loggers goes from temperature range of suppose minus 85 degree to 140 degree centigrades, and with some canister kind of accessories it can go to a 320 350 380 degree centigrade. But still the battery and still the electronics which is inside these loggers actually cannot withstand that temperatures. You can just imagine a battery. These are the special batteries. This can't be a normal batteries which you can use into your loggers. So these are the special batteries which use. So if you are using these wireless technologies, then most of the time you end up in highest running cost due to these battery consumptions and kind of things. And another thing is we suggest, and also wherever there is an option that you can use wired system, you use wired system. But suppose you have a rotating autoclaves, there is no way you can pass on any wires, then you have to go with only wireless systems. So KE has been working on this all challenges of these wireless systems for the, and last year we come up with this Valprobe RT, considering all this like running cost, considering the problem of suppose, just take a simple case. We talk about we save time when we keep logger, when we set up a system for the autoclave, and we program the loggers on a disk. I keep it in the autoclave. I'm getting the live data on the screen. And after 30 minutes, or maybe it's not that one test I have to do. I have to do 3 tests consecutive. And suppose my loggers cannot be programmed through wirelessly, and my loggers cannot be programmed just keeping in the autoclave. Imagine you are thought of like you are going to save a lot of time here, but you programmed the loggers, you kept into the autoclave, and once the study is over, you cannot generate the report because you cannot download data from the loggers till you bring back these loggers to your reader station. And this is the biggest challenge. Autoclaves run at high temperatures, and you cannot open the autoclave till it goes to a room temperature and loggers cool down. This makes it challenging, and you will lose definitely a lot of time in that period. Suppose you have a system which actually you can program back to back, because my one cycle is running. I have programmed loggers kept in the autoclave. My study has been started. My study is over. I don't have to wait till opening door or setuping again, bringing out the logger. I will just download data wirelessly, and then I will program the next study. Then I will program the next study. All my 3 studies are done. So this kind of technology is used. So, and in past, because of such a challenges, the companies has invested a lot on wireless systems, online wireless system, but due to running costs, then due to operational issues, they end up again into the offline wireless. So what I want to say here is the KE loggers which we are talking about, it's not just online wireless system. I will say it's a true online wireless system, truly online. Means it's complete. There is no way you can read data through putting it to reader. You have to read data only wireless, and we are confident on that. And this is for the system, for a wireless system. And we talked about what are another challenge. Another challenge is the battery life. So if I show you this logger, just see it. And this logger goes into the harsh environment. And harsh environment means it's going into the steam, it's going into the liquids, You can put it onto the high temperature to low temperatures. And there is no way I can put, or any designer can put any switches on these loggers which can switch off this logger to save my battery. And the study which we have done it in past, we will found that any wireless logger, if it's not in use and it's on and just kept on a shelf for a month, it will consume 10 to 15% of battery because logger is still running because there is no option to switch off. So KE has come up with a technology. If we can define a certain ideal time, and if that ideal time is met by the logger and there is no work for the logger, there is no studies going on, nothing has to be done, then this logger will go into the switch off mode and switched off automatically. And we have made some technologies to wake this up loggers again, which my friend Saurabh will explain you after some time when he goes and shows you the real system, how the loggers and different types of loggers. That time he will explain you. So this one feature which saves the battery a lot, and I'm sure with this kind of batteries, with this kind of a functionality, we can go for a year with a single batteries. And when we talk about the loggers, when we talk about the batteries, the consumption of a battery is higher at lower temperatures. Means if you go below 0 degrees centigrade, the consumption of batteries is higher. And once you go on a higher temperature side, means about 0 degree of our room temperature, the so in our programming, in our softwares, we have taken care that we made sure we will give you the perfect reading of how much battery is left for the logger, how much batteries can these studies which we are programming, which will withstand or not. These algorithms are developed. So sudden switch off, sudden switching of a battery, sudden logging, stopping of a data logging of these things will stop. Another thing, as you are seeing it online on a screen, different modes, graphical, tabular, historical, all these modes are available. And with all these modes, you can actually see how how these loggers are performing inside the autoclaves. And you don't have any surprises after the end. And just imagine if you wanted to stop the study in between and you want to start the study again. But in case of offline wireless, it is not possible because you cannot stop the study and you cannot start the study just keeping which the loggers which are inside the autoclave or inside the instrument. But with these loggers, you can do that. So if something is not working properly, you can stop the studies and you can save the time. So actual saving will come with only with a truly wireless loggers, which we are going to talk about this today. And the architecture wise, if I just wanted to say you something, this is simple architecture here. There is one base station which is connected to a PC. And here I'm not talking about PC, we are talking about the console here. This is the console, I will say. This console is loaded with KE software and supplied by the KE. All the CSV requirement, all the 21 CFR requirements, everything has been taken care by the KE because we supply system with a software install on it. Again, we are doing the validations. Number of validations into the companies year on year going on increasing. And the challenge is again, how we manage that data, how we analyze that data on next. Suppose I have an autoclave, I am doing some study this year. I'm doing the same study on the same autoclave next year, after one third year, fourth year, fifth year. But is there any way to see how my autoclave's performance is going on last 10 years, or last 3 years, or last 5 years? So this kind of things and this kind of easy operation, easy comparisons actually possible with this asset-centric system software which we have developed here. Means here you are developing your first autoclave, you are developing your tunnels, you are developing your lyophilizer as an instrument, and under that all the studies, all the information is stored in a folder. So accessing is easy. Take out the printouts. This systems allows all regarding the architecture. So now when we talk about console, we talked about base station right now, and this is a different. This is a logger which I'm showing here, and this logger is one type of a logger. There are different types of logger based on the applications you have to use it. Because for tunnels, I cannot use a Teflon. For tunnels, I need to go for SST. For wires, I cannot use hard probe. I need a little bit softer probe. If I wanted to do surface measurements in lyophilizer, I need flat surface measurements. So these all things, how we are managing it. So different types of loggers. Always happiest thing is always people want, always customers or anybody, even me, if you ask me, which temperature range of a bath you want, I will say that I want a bath which goes from minus 200 to 600 with same accuracy, same things. When I ask that which type of a logger you want, he will say that I want a logger which goes into deep freezer, which goes into the lyophilizer, which goes into the autoclave, which goes in tunnel, which goes in everywhere. It means we always look a single solution for all the range. But practically, due to engineering limitations, these things are not possible. Then you have to choose logger based on your requirement, based on your what is you looking for. You're looking for autoclave, you're looking for lyophilizers, you're looking for deep freezers. Think about your application, and maybe few loggers can share between two applications, and this can be used. So this is what we're talking about loggers. So and on the, till now we all know that what is the wired system offers in life? Wired systems gives you reliability, right? And everybody agrees that because we always know that the landline phone which was working in the that all works always works. The telephones or cell phones which we have it sometimes tower is down, sometimes signal is down, so things can happen. So wired systems gives you flexibility, reliability. And what the wireless systems offers you? Wireless systems offers you the flexibility. I don't have to sit near my wall and talk on phone. I can just pick up a phone, I can walk on here and I can do this. The similar way, so what I'm saying over here, the RT system which we are seeing here. So our trust and our testing proves that this system gives you reliability of a wired system and offers you the flexibility of the wireless system. And by saying this, I will hand over this session to Swaroop, who will take you through the different loggers, who will and explain the system. Welcome, Swaroop.
Yeah, thank you, Asif. And hi, everyone. My name is Venkat Swarup. So I just want to explain you today how this wall probe RT system works and how it will connect and how to communicate this system. So this is the base station. It looks like this. This acts as a central communication device or a gateway simply between the loggers and the console. That means all my loggers, temperature or pressure, all the loggers will keep on continuously talking to this base station. That means sending the data to this base station, and later on it is passing the information to the console. So before explaining the other things, I just want to say one thing. This base station and the logger communication will be only happen with RF, radio frequency. And the connectivity between the console and base station is through LAN. So now when we talk about the RF, radio frequency, this radio frequency is working with 2.4 gigahertz frequency approved by Ministry of Communications, India. So now this base station is also having a feasibility to connect temperature bath and master temperature reference. That means with the help of this connectivity, you can make your automatic pre-calibration and post-verification activities. That means your manual intervention will be less and the lead time will be less. Anyway, during the validation studies, you all know that this pre-calibration and post-verification are very much important. So with the help of these slots, you can connect KE temperature bath and reference. So along with that, in this base station, you can see the status LED symbols, which will tell you timely about the status of the communication and the status of the study and the battery backup and the power signal. So this is about the base station. And now I'll explain you about the loggers. So we have a different type of temperature and pressure loggers designed to satisfy the entire thermal validation range, which is starting from deep freezers, lyophilizers, incubators, autoclaves, tunnels, and whatever it may be. That means with the help of these all loggers, you can perform entire thermal validation activities. So now I'll introduce each logger one by one, and I'll also explain you the application part. So now this is a single channel flexible logger. Logger looks like this. And here, if you can see, the sensor is flexible. So this flexibility of the sensor will be helpful to you to tape to the surface of the asset, like autoclave or lyophilizer, or you can put inside any vessel or vials, anything. So that means with this flexibility, you can cover validation activities of autoclaves, vessels, lyophilizers, tunnels, incubators, and other things. So this is one logger. And similarly, we have a dual channel logger. So the logger looks like same, but the thing is that here two sensors are connected to the single logger. So when you want to place these sensors in a nearby location in the same area, so then you can opt for this logger. So, and another option which we have in this flexibility is 5-channel sensor. So here also the thing is same, the logger is single and we have a 5 sensors connected to this. So depending upon the application, you can choose your requirement. So the next logger which I'm going to show you is a bendable one. The logger looks like this, and the sensor here is of stainless steel and it is bendable, and you can use it for dry heat sterilizers and tunnels and different high temperature applications. So only one thing you have to remember is when you are using this logger for high temperature applications, you have to keep this logger inside an insulating canister housing assembly. There is a separate housing assembly, canister make. You have to keep the logger inside that. so that that assembly will protect the logger, and this sensor will withstand up to 400 degrees. That means you can satisfy your tunnel applications. So this is about the bendable logger. And similarly, we have another configuration in this bendable mode. There are two sensors connected to the single logger. So application wise, it is same. When there is a 2 points to measure, like if you want to do an activity with a 2 point, so then you can use these two different sensors with a single logger, and you can perform your validation activities. So and one more logger, which I am going to show you is this is a rigid logger and this is a standard logger, and this will be helpful for you in doing your SIP, steam in place applications, and tunnels, and in LIOS and other things. And simply we can say this is an environmental monitoring logger inside any of your asset. And one more logger is flat surface logger. The logger looks like this. Here the beauty is sensor is placed on the top of the logger, and while you are performing shelf validation in your lyophilizers of the surface measurement, so then you have to use this logger for lyophilizer activities. So now the last important logger is pressure cum temperature logger. As you know that pressure is also an important point which we have to consider in terms of steam sterilizer validations and other things. So in this combination logger, there is one channel of temperature and one channel of pressure. So simultaneously, it will record both the temperature and pressure values, and it will transmit the data to the base station and console. So this is about all the different loggers. So based on your application and based on your number of sensors mentioned in the SOP, you can choose different kinds of loggers available in the system. So once again, I want to repeat, all these loggers are communicating to the base station via RF, and the base station is transmitting the information live to the console part. Now, so I just want to explain you about the magnetic wake-up device. So this is the magnetic wake-up device. As Asif mentioned you in the earlier, so all my loggers, which when there is no job or when there is no work, when there is no program, so all the loggers will go to sleep mode by default after 15 minutes. So to wake up the logger, this is a special device. When you bring the logger in contact with this device, the logger will wake up and you will get a beep sound in the base station. And along with the sound, you can also see a status LED symbol on the base station, so that you can understand that your logger is in switch on position. So this is about the magnetic wake-up device. And now I just want to share my software screen and explain how to connect the system and how to communicate with that. So this is my software window. In this, if we see about assets, all your assets like autoclaves, sterilizers, heat baths, tunnels, lyophilizers, whatever it may be, you have to feed the data for the first time, and afterwards you can create a setups based on your SOPs, and no need to do the setups again and again. So you can use this data for your lifetime. So next one is admin. In this window, you can see different options like preferences. Based on your company preferences and your SOP preferences, you can input the data here, like units of temperatures or units of pressure or line frequency, and you can add your company logo over here. And if you want to make a changes to your footer and report, footer and header, you can do it here. So similarly, in the next window, you can see policies. These are the policies which will be coming from our IT regulatory bodies. You have to fill this as per your IT policies. So these are following 21 CFR Part 11 regulations. So next one is the user management. Here you can add or remove the user, and you can give the privileges based on their level, like supervisor, manager, or operator. Whatever the privileges you want to give, you can give in this window. So similarly, the next one is auto sync option. So here, the important thing is you have to give a backup path to the server. In this window, you can give a path of your server, and you can back up the data continuously in a regular interval, and the data will be safe and secure all the time. So that is this option. And this hardware maintenance window, this window is particularly for our service purpose. Whenever the upgrades or updates coming for the base station or loggers, we will use this window and we will update your system to the latest version. So now about this equipment. So in this equipment window, you can add the details of your data loggers, as well as temperature bath, as well as master temperature reference and other things. So when the moment if you add all the things in this window, you will get a regular notifications for the calibration dues and others. So next one is the audit option. So this is most important thing in our pharma regulatories. So audit trail files you can generate as per the timestamp and as per the date stamp and as per the asset wise. You can generate as per your requirement, and many filters you can put while you are generating these audit trail reports. So the data which you have stored in these assets, the data which you have stored in this administrator window, and the data which you have stored in equipment and audit, everything will be managed with the help of this file management option. If you go and see inside this, there are 4 things. You can keep the entire backup of your system in a remote location with the help of sync out. You can get back the data again to this system with the help of this sync in, and you can archive your older files, and you can generate the things with the help of this archive folders. If you are having any different console and different setups in other location, you can get the data and you can convert into Valprobe RT. So this is about the file management. And now what I'll do, I'll just connect my base station and I'll show you the communication. For connecting the base station, I am just pressing on this. So here you can see my base station and details, which are in blue color. I'm selecting that and I am connecting it. So if you can see the screen, there are no loggers in this screen. So all my loggers are sleeping. So logger count is 0. So now I'll wake up my logger with the help of this magnetic wake up device. So now you can see there are 2 loggers connected to my base station. So one is 2-channel pressure temperature logger and one is single channel rigid logger. So in this loggers, you can see the battery percentage and you can see the serial number and data of that particular loggers. Now I am selecting both the loggers and I am giving the command to see live monitoring. That means I just want to find whether my loggers are working fine, my loggers are having a sufficient battery and communicating properly. So in this live monitoring window, you'll come to know all these things. So now on the left side folder, you can see the sensor details and the value, that means temperature, and the percentage of the battery in each logger and the RF link. So now I'm going to tell you about RF link. RF link is nothing but connectivity between the base station and loggers. So when my loggers are near to the base station, the RF link will be 100. If I take my loggers far away from the base station, it will slowly reduce. So now on the right side, you can see the temperature calculations, that is max, minimum, and max minus minimum, average, everything. And you can also see this graphical view like this. So now, after observing all these things, I came to know that my sensors are working fine. They are showing the good temperature, and my battery percentage is good, and my RF link connectivity is also good. Now I'll stop live. I can go for programming. So this is the basic test we have to do when we are starting any qualification activities. So this is about the system. And now important thing here is reporting. So as you know, reports plays a major role in our pharma industry. And without the proper reporting format and other things, there is no use in doing this kind of activities. So for the time being, we have done one setup already preloaded in this, and we have done one qualification study. So inside your asset, it looks like this. And already I have done one study with the name of Sanity 10. And I'll try to generate the reports, and I'll show you how it looks. I have selected this, and I am generating the reports. I have used both temperature and pressure in this study. So I'll select this, and I'll click on OK. So you can see the temperature window. And here on the top, you can see qualification start and qualification end. And the bottom, exposure start and exposure end. If you want to modify this based on the autoclave time or lyophilizer time, you can modify like this. And you can generate the report with the required data. So anyway, I have differentiated both temperature and pressure groups while I am performing the setup. So there is no use and there is no point in going and editing the groups. And similarly, edit calculations. If you want to edit calculations, you can go inside. Anyway, KE is coming with the standard calculations, and everything will be visible on your report. So simply, I'm going to the next level, and I want to show you the graph report first. So graph report looks like this. And if you want to generate the graph report, you can generate like this. So all the sensors are given with separate colors, and the report looks like this. I'm just going back to the normal reporting. So I'll go with the standard report now. So here you can see setup report, summary report, detailed report, audit trail report, spreadsheet, and pass-fail criteria report. If you want to take the printouts of all the reports, you have to select all the things at a time, and you can generate the reports. I'll explain you the reports. So first report is setup report. It looks like this. All the sensors which you have used in this setup are given here, and what are the parameters you have given in this setup, and who has created this setup, and when it was created, and when it was started. Everything is given here. So summary report. So this is the summary report. So as you know, in summary report, the total calculations and other things are very important for us. So here, when you start seeing the header itself, you can see the SOP protocol number and run number, asset ID, and date, setup created date, study file comments, groups included in this report, and who has created this setup and where the location and the version of software, a version of hardware, everything is given here. And you can also see the loggers which are included in the study, and sensor group definitions also. You can see what is a temperature group and what is pressure group. And similarly, you can see here temperature data and total calculations. So this is about total summary data here, and the totals are mentioned here with the minimum lethality and maximum lethality and study minimum and study maximum. Everything is given clearly in a separate columns. So this data is showing about the pressure now. So pressure summary data along with the totals. So there are event messages displaying for each and every event whenever it starts and stops. So this is about a detailed report. It looks like this. So here you can see regular interval temperature data and regular interval pressure data like this. So during our study, we have given 5-second sampling rate. So every 5 seconds, the data is recorded and given in the system. It looks like this. So after this regular interval data, there is statistical calculations already included in this software. So in these statistical calculations, you have to closely observe max, min, and average, standard deviation, and cycle time. Everything is mentioned clearly. So these parameters are already included in the setup during the qualification. So similarly, after temperature, you can see the pressure data. So pressure calculations are also given clearly. So this is about the detailed report. So now, so for pass fail criteria report, you have to fill these columns as per the SOP and the setup parameters you have given. So if you fill all these parameters as per the SOP, so then you can also generate pass fail criteria report, and you can easily identify whether your cycle is pass or not. So this is about KE reporting. So thank you all. Thank you for listening. And Mr. Asif, over to you.
So, hello all. So, we've gone through the system now. We have checked it, how this RF Probe RT system works and what are the features of this systems. And Swaroop has taken you quickly to the different um, different calculations and different reports, how it happens in this RT. And if you really check, KE is a more than 62 years company in the field of thermal validations. And we say that we are the pioneer in the world of 21 CFR compliant thermal validation systems. And when it comes to Validator 2000, which is maybe around 20 years plus, and we have launched Validator AVS, which is like 2015 we have launched it. Now it's already 5 years. And we have Valprobe offline wireless system in the market more than 25 years now. So it's a big history with the KE. And globally, all the pharmaceutical industry and who are manufacturing critical drugs, and even from the India, if I talk about who are exporting drugs to Europe and USA, they rely on KE for the reporting, KE for the reliability, KE for the integrity of the data. And this is all about the thinking about why we should think about this wireless online system now. And so by saying this, I just wanted to really thank you all again. So Alan, we are actually going to close the session now. Thank you all again for attending the today's webinar. After the event, you will receive a survey. Please make sure to fill it out so we can hear from you and also keep you informed about the future webinars and events for this. You can also follow KE on a LinkedIn and sign up for the KE Alert newsletter or website in order to stay informed all our new products and webinars. And just wanted to say that we have got a lot of questions in the background on Q&A sessions. We have tried as much as to answer, but we are not able to answer all the questions. And we will try to reach out to you with the questions with the answers personalized, or maybe we will when we send a survey, you can also come back with the answer if you not got the answer for your question. And in the meantime, do not hesitate to reach out to one of our account manager for your territory or regions. And we'd love to talk to you more about to know how can we serve you, your needs. Thanks again for the joining us and have a great day. And if you wanted to have really in-depth sessions on this product, we are happy to support you. Please get in touch with the local account managers. We are ready to give live demonstrations on your site. We wanted to also, if not possible due to the COVID situations, we are still ready to give online sessions with in-depth questions and in-depth answers to your questions, and one-to-one sessions we are ready to do it. So once again, thank you very much. And please fill up the survey once you get it. Thanks for joining, and really excited that we had a really good session with a lot of participations. Thank you. Thanks everybody.